What's going on, guys? Commodore Laz here today to bring to you a kingdom discussion video on Gaku Jou and the role that this man will play in the current events of the manga, and of course the matchup that he's going to be having once he gets back into the manga. Now, for you guys who probably are asking, who is Gaku Jou? What role has this character played thus far in the story? Well, let's dive into the past real quickly and go into his character and what we know thus far of the man known as Gaku Jou, the second greatest general in Zhao at the time when Renpa was still around as the number one. And based on the events of what we've seen thus far in the manga, and of course going from the past and trying to recollect it from what's going on right now, I believe this man is currently the number one general in all of Zhao. The fact that Renpa himself, was considered the number one, that King Tojo back in the day, he had said, I'm relinquishing Renpa of all his status, his stature, and he has sent Gaku Jou personally to go and take out Renpa. Now you got to be asking yourself, why Gaku Jou? Maybe because of the fact that maybe he was the second greatest general and maybe the closest who could maybe take out Renpa. The fact that he didn't ask for Boku or Hoken, none of those guys, does say something right there about his character. We know for the fact that Gaku Jou also hails from the family that Gaku Ki came from, the Gaku family. Gaku Ki, of course, being the military god, the man that stopped Ki from the coalition invasion, and of course reducing him down to 2 cities. The man that is also on equal terms with Renpa. If you guys know from the Kingdom Data book, they are both ranked at the top. So it kind of comes to me when I say, when I see back in the manga, they were telling how Gaku Jou was on par in terms of abilities, secretly above Renpa. And then you have to think about this too. It's been 7 years. 7 years have passed since Q, during the Wei campaign when these events had taken place. Tojo just became king, he kicked out Renpa, he sent Gaku Jou after him, and what we know thus far of his personality of Gaku Jou is the fact that he was hesitant to go after Renpa. Believe me, I would be hesitant too to go after someone who is the current god of the verse, thinking that, I can be able to take his head, when we know factually that wasn't the case. Gaku Jou had the blade right here to his neck, he was sweating, and of course it's Renpa, man. Like, you can't go after Renpa think you're gonna take his head, because that man, if you move 1 step, he moves 20 steps without you even knowing that he already started moving. So that's the thing with Gaku Jou. He is considered the second greatest general at the time, but as things have passed, 7 years have technically passed since that time, he has to be the number one general. Going back to the fact that when Renpa captured him back in the main camp that he was holding in, he pretty much let him go and said, look, my fight is with Quinn, and what you need to do is continue to get stronger. And I think he probably took those words to heart, and based on that, I would really think that Gaku Jou might have taken that to heart, gotten stronger, and now became the number one general of Zhao. So the question beckons, when is he going to come back in the manga? Well, we know what the current events going on right now in Retsubi, with it setting to fall possibly in the next chapter or two. I'm thinking, well, Retsubi is going to be finished. The next place that's going to be coming up is Gyu. And I don't really think that Gyu is going to be the place. I had thought about it for a while that maybe Gyu will be the great place for him to show up. But considering that he is the number one great general of all of Zhao, that's what I'm thinking. And of course, go back to Tojo, how he had asked Gaku Jou to go after Renpa. I believe he probably holds him in higher regard than the likes of Reboku and even of Hoken. So I'm pretty sure he probably keeps him locked away in, in Katan, and keep him there, just in case if anything were to go down, he has his number one ready to help him out. So that goes into, who I want to see is the matchup for Gaku Jou. Now, as an honorable mention, I would love to see Moten, just the fact that, Shin and Ohan have already taken out great generals. The only reason why I don't have him in my 3 picks to, go after Gaku Jou and go into battle with them, simply is because of the fact that, well, it's too much. If this is the number one of Zhao, I don't know if Moten's ready for that level. Don't get me wrong, Moten is my guy, but I don't know if I can see him going to that level and trying to take on someone who's considered the number one, someone who's on Renpa's level. I wouldn't be able to believe that Moten could be able to hold himself in that kind of battle. He could probably fight other great generals from other states, maybe Shibasho, who knows, depending on the power level scale for him. But I don't think Gaku Jou will be a great matchup for him. In fact, I think Gaku Jou will probably overwhelm him. But yeah, so moving Moten out of the side, my 3 picks of who I think are going to be facing Gaku Jou, possibly when they touch down in Kantan, because I think that's where Gaku Jou most likely will show up. And the 3 picks, of course, if you saw in the thumbnail, are Yotanwa, Kanki, and Osen. Simply for the fact that, we haven't seen them go in 1v1 combat before, and I think this is the perfect time to finally see what these guys are capable of, especially with Yotanwa, the hype that she brings with the morale, you know, the fact that she can just get everyone all hyped up and rally behind her voice, like she got some hockey game going on from One Piece. But honestly, Yotanwa, this would be the perfect time to see her go in and do everything she possibly can to prove her worth and be among those ready to go and take the spot of the 6th grade generals of Quinn. Also, going with Kanki and Osen, we haven't seen too much of them in 1v1 combat. We know Osen likes to play the defensive role, whereas Kanki likes to go on the offensive as well. So they have their two little differences. One likes to wait for the traps, the other one wants to dish out some traps. So it begs the different, you know, who would be the best matchup? And you guys can, you know, talk about that in the comment section down below. Who you guys want to see Gaku Jou facing off against, you know, once we get to Kantan, because that's where I believe, you know, Gaku Jou is going to show up and he's going to be, you know, the main player. Not like Raboku could be on the side, you know, waiting. But I think in terms of the actual fight itself, Gaku Jou could probably prove to be the one to show the best fight thus far in Kingdom for any of the 6th grade generals, you know, in the weight that we haven't seen go in combat. But yeah, there's just a lot of great stuff going on with the manga right now, and I'm thinking, we talked about Shiba Show, we talking about, you know, Hoken, Riboku, and all the other generals and great generals that have been, you know, in the manga that we've seen thus far, and I'm thinking, where's the Gaku Jou hype? Where is Gaku Jou at? And this guy had me hyped for so long. When you tell me that there's a character who's at least on par or secretly above Renpa, the man who is regarded as the Whitebeard of Kingdom, like, yo, like, that is crazy. So I really do hope though that Gaku Jou ends up showing up very soon in the manga again. Hopefully shows up Kantan, because again, for like end game stuff in regards to what, you know, the battle with Zhao, I mean, when I mean end game, the end of this arc, I really do hope he ends up showing up. And yeah, just, you know, just giving us what the fans need, and then some of that hype that we need from Kingdom, those amazing fights that I know Yasuhisa can pull off. We see also what else he can pull on a strategical and tactical standpoint, and just see how much he has grown over in the last 7 years. So that's pretty much my little discussion, predictions, theory, speculation, whatever you want to call this, in regards to the man known as Gaku Jou. I know that this guy, when he comes back into the manga, he's going to be straight up hype, and I just cannot wait to see what he's going to do in the later events of this arc. So if you guys enjoyed this video, of course, make sure to drop me a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and let me know your thoughts on Gaku Jou. Do you guys see him showing up in Katan? Do some people think he's going to show up in Gyu maybe? Or he's not going to show up in this arc at all because maybe he's doing something else or whatever. I don't know. Only you guys can let me know your predictions, your thoughts down in the comment section below. And yeah, but again guys, thank you so much for watching. Commodore Laz signing off. Take care.